Hey, it's Connor here in ESA Barcelona in one of the team rooms. On the course this week, I was asked, how do you handle anxiety? And one of the participants just said that when she has to give a talk, her hands are shaking, her mouth is dry. It's just so hard not to go bright red, and she worries about being unable to handle the anxiety of standing up and speaking. And I was thinking about a conversation I had with Pep Mari. Pep Mari was the psychologist of the Spanish Olympic team for about 20 years, worked with all the young Spanish athletes who came into the Olympic program through his time. And he would work with them from the age of 14, 15 when they were first identified right through their career as athletes. And he shared with me 4 ways that we can handle anxiety. And the 4 ways that we can handle anxiety: the first, avoid it. And if something really does create this horrible feeling in you, one decision that you absolutely have is the decision not to go through with it. And there's times that this will be the right decision to avoid putting yourself in situations which cause this anxiety. The second way that Pep Mari would work with an athlete, because the first way, you don't grow. If you avoid things that scare you, you don't grow. So the second way is to manage your levels of anxiety. And to manage your level of anxiety, the first thing is to become aware where your level of anxiety is at any given moment. So rating right now, how anxious are you? 1 to 10. 10 being absolutely the most physically scared, hands sweating, mouth dry, stomach churning. Somewhere like 4 or 3, I guess, being just calm. And when you notice that you are too high, and different people perform best at different levels of anxiety. If your anxiety is too high, focusing on your breathing. Just telling yourself you've been through this before, you've done the work. That helps just reduce your level of anxiety. Another is sometimes you find that your level of anxiety is too low, and actually you need to raise your level of fear to get yourself to really commit to do the work, which is just telling yourself this is important. So the second is okay, but it still means that you're not performing at your very best when you're under this state of stress, because some part of your mental energy is going towards just managing your state. So Pep Mari would say that managing your anxiety is only good as if he can get you to move to the third way that we can handle anxiety. And the third way is to accept it. And accepting it is not fighting the sensation. And what I try to do when I'm just before I begin a class, even after all these 16 years of teaching and thousands of sessions, in the minutes before someone's about to say, and now we'll hand over to Connor, my hands start to sweat, thoughts start coming through my head. I ask myself, what am I doing here? Why do I say yes to these things? My stomach starts to... And what I try and do is just accept these feelings, accept the thoughts as they come through my mind, accept that my hands are sweating, accept that my mouth is dry. I do make sure I have a water bottle always with me before I give any talk, because I do tend to get mouth dry, and having water nearby helps. But for me, it's not fighting against these physical symptoms, allowing them to just pass through. And Pep Mari says, accepting, if you can get into this place where you accept that this is part of the process, that being alive, putting yourself into challenging situations, you are going to face times when the physical stress symptoms are there, and just accepting it, not fighting it, not struggling with it, not trying to get rid of it, but just allowing it to be with you, allows you to perform under stressful situations, under the lights, when the audiences are there, at 100% of the level that you can perform in practice. But Pep Mari said that there's a 4th level of handling stress. And this 4th level, only a few athletes achieve it. And the 4th level there are athletes that under stress have a performance that is far above anything that they've ever produced in practice. They set the world record. And his question is, what's going through the mind of an athlete when they're able to put their best performance that they've ever done in their life in the time that is most pressure or most stress? And what he said, in these cases, it's because the athlete is not thinking about winning or losing, is not thinking about what people will think about them. They are totally focused on the growth for them as a human being. They are going through this process unattached to whether they win or they lose or how it would go, but being completely present in feeling this experience of being alive and being completely committed to a decision to explore the limits of what it is to be a human being. And those 4 ways of, number 1, avoid the source. Number 2, manage the anxiety. Number 3, accept the anxiety. And number 4, use this anxiety to get an experience of what it is to be human in a way that very few people really live, and explore what it is to push the boundaries of humanity. My explanation of number 4 is probably pretty poor because I don't think I've ever got there. I think the best that I do, the best that I'm able to get to is level 3, this ability to just accept that when you put yourself in challenging situations, there's no way of avoiding shaking hands, dry mouth, the thoughts going through your head. So to me, the practice that is best for able to handle anxiety is this practice of becoming able to just sit with the symptoms where your body is showing that it is getting very ready for something that you know is important. So this is the best I can give you on how to handle anxiety. The best we know how, the best that psychologists know how, is really to learn to be able to sit with it, not flee from it, not try and resist it, not do anything, just allow it to be, and definitely have done the homework so you know you're ready. So again, hope this helps. Have a great one. This is Connor from ESA Barcelona in one of the team rooms. Thank you again for your subscribes, your likes, your comments, and we'll see you next week with another video. Have a good one.